I had a documentary about my son's disorder, Menkes disease, and as it played different film festivals, different medical conferences, each had some strengths. You know, the general film festival for general audiences is inexpensive to attend and maybe kind of fun, but that audience doesn't necessarily want to see a bunch of rare disease films. They'll watch one or two because they're part of the lineup, but that's not their focus. Whereas at the medical conferences, that is a focused audience that does care about this particular, you know, rare population's concerns. But then those medical conferences are pretty expensive, and they're not open to the general public as easily. And so Bigelow and I were looking at, can you combine the best of both worlds? And why isn't there a rare disease film festival? You'd think there would be one. And you start to think about, you know, yes, we're rare, it's 1 in 10 Americans. That's not that rare, that's 30 million people. And 30 million people, maybe there should be a film festival for that. So it was really something where we were disappointed it didn't exist. And then the light bulb went off and said, well, maybe we should make sure it does exist.
One of the goals of our foundation, aside from funding research, is to find more patients. That's something that the researchers at Baylor in Texas have told us they really don't have time to do. They're like, hey, we're the science guys. You know, we're going to be working in the lab, we're going to do that piece of it, but you, podcast guy, you can find more people for us, so please do that. So every time I thought, you know, maybe the podcast has run its course, maybe the blog is done, no, I need to keep finding patients. And so Daniel's selling point was, if you really want to find more patients, video is the way to go. If you make a film and I'll help you make it, this could really move things forward for you. And so that was important to think about, like, you know, what's the best way to reach a really large number of people really quickly? And video is it. I mean, it really makes a big difference. You can find a lot of people. And as far as getting involved with the festival, I made a decision pretty early on that rather than just making my film with Daniel and then just letting him do everything, I felt like it would be just more meaningful if I was able to see all the films, and he would, you know, gently nudge me and be like, hey, you know, you should watch these films. It's not going to be just me. And he's right. You know, the more you see the films, the more of the films you see, the more you're able to connect with them personally. And then you meet those families, you meet those filmmakers, and you say, like, wow, I understand. Like, I know about Dupe 15Q. I know about Niemann-Pick type C. Like, I understand where you're coming from. And so being involved on a deeper level just makes it just a much richer experience.
I know about 100 people facing Menkes disease, and we're all in the support group online, and we're in contact. And you know, if you do some other project, and if you're at all a procrastinator, you think, well, maybe somebody else will get around to doing that. Any kind of, you know, noble cause kind of thing, maybe somebody else is going to solve hunger or cancer or whatever. But if you know 100 people, the pressure is a little bit more on you yourself. What am I going to do? And then I thought, within that 100 people, what are the odds that someone else has some filmmaking skills and background in that area? So I really kind of felt like this one's on me. You know, maybe nobody else is going to want to or be able to step up on this one. So if anyone is going to make this film, maybe I should. And we happen to be in the clinical trial at the NIH, so we had access to, you know, the leading researcher on the disorder, and some of the other families that were facing it were willing to talk on camera. And so I knew I could do it, and if I could do it, I should do it.
I field all the emails for disorder, and if I could show you like the last month of emails that I've gotten, I'd swear every day I get multiple emails that are, hey, can we sponsor? Or hey, I have a film. And it's heartbreaking because you got to tell them, like, I can't take your thing at this point. Like, we're full of sponsors. We had to draw the line at some point, and we can't take any more films. We had to close submissions and have some finality there. But we're leaving out some great stuff. And the fact that there's that interest of people who didn't make it into this round but really want to be part of it, that tells us that we're onto something and we need to do this again. And it's just a matter of when.
But we definitely will do another, and we already saw that there's so much interest. We're confident we can do a much bigger one the next time. So whether that means 3 days of screenings or multiple screens at the same time, you know, maybe more speakers, or we're not sure quite what bigger is going to mean, although it definitely will mean more people in more seats. So we're looking at what's possible for the next step, but it's been very encouraging to know that more than what we're doing now is definitely possible.